The hands of death could not defeat me. The sisters of fate could not hold me. And you will not see the end of this day. I will have my revenge!
God of War isn't just a game. It's a legend. A series that redefined storytelling in gaming, blending brutal combat, epic mythology, and the deeply personal journey of one man, Kratos, the Ghost of Sparta. From ancient Greece to the frozen realms of Norse mythology, the saga of Kratos has captivated millions, delivering unforgettable moments of rage, redemption, and sacrifice. Whether it's slaying gods or grappling with fatherhood, the God of War series has pushed the boundaries of gaming, setting a gold standard for narrative-driven action. Today, we go back to where it all began. The story of the first God of War, released in 2005 by Sony's Santa Monica studio. This is the tale of a Spartan warrior turned god slayer, haunted by his past and destined for vengeance.
About time. The gods of Olympus have abandoned me. Now there is no hope.
The tale begins with Kratos, a Spartan warrior standing atop a towering cliff, staring down into the stormy seas. His voice carries despair as he utters, "The gods of Olympus have abandoned me." Without hesitation, he leaps into the abyss. But this is not where his story ends. It's where it begins. Let's rewind. Kratos wasn't always a man consumed by rage and regret. He was once the proud general of Sparta, leading his army to countless victories, fueled by his unyielding hunger for conquest and glory.
His tactics were brutal, but effective. Drunk with power, he was feared by all.
However, Kratos' ambition led him to a critical moment on the battlefield. Overwhelmed by an enemy force, he faced certain death. Desperate to save himself and his soldiers, he called upon Ares, the Greek god of war.
The discipline and training of the Spartans did little to stem the tide of the merciless barbarians. The soldiers faced a massacre, while their young captain faced the end of his brilliant career and his life. But to Kratos, victory was worth any price, even his soul.
Ares! Destroy my enemies, and my life is yours!
The god answered. In an instant, Ares descended from Olympus, obliterating Kratos' enemies with divine fury. In return, Kratos became the servant of the god of war. As a token of Ares' favor, Kratos was gifted the Blades of Chaos, searing chains that bound themselves to his flesh, serving as both a weapon and a mark of servitude.
Once attached, the chains remained so, chained and seared to the flesh, a part of the bearer's body, a permanent reminder of Kratos' pledge. In return, ultimate power. The rage of Ares exploded from within. But soon, he would learn the true cost of such power. A cost too high even for Kratos to pay.
But Ares had greater plans for Kratos. To mold him into the perfect warrior, Ares orchestrated a horrifying act.
Those who offered resistance of any kind were dealt with quickly.
They've built this temple to offer prayers to Athena! This entire village stands as an affront to Lord Ares! Burn this village! Burn it to the ground!
In a blind, berserk rage during one of his conquests, Kratos unknowingly slaughtered his own wife and child in a small village dedicated to Athena, the goddess of wisdom. The flames of their funeral pyre burned the ashes of his family into his skin, staining him forever. From that day on, Kratos became known as the Ghost of Sparta, a man cursed to wear the weight of his sea. Consumed by grief and hatred, Kratos renounced Ares and swore vengeance against the god who had betrayed him.
Ares, you will die for what you did that night.
Years passed, and Kratos found himself haunted by visions of his past.
Athena! 10 years, Athena. I have faithfully served the gods for 10 years. When will you relieve me of these nightmares?
The gods of Olympus, led by Athena, offered him a chance at redemption. If Kratos could slay Ares, they would free him from his torment. To do this, Kratos would need to locate Pandora's box, a legendary artifact said to hold the power to kill a god.
We request one final task of you, Kratos. Your greatest challenge awaits in Athens, where even now my brother Ares lays siege as we speak. Athens is on the verge of destruction. It is the will of Ares my great city fall. Zeus has forbidden the gods from waging war on each other. That is why it must be you, Kratos. Only a mortal trained by a god has a chance at defeating Ares.
And if I am able to do this, to kill a god, then the visions, they will end?
Complete this final task, and the past that consumes you will be forgiven. Have faith, Kratos.
Guided by Athena, Kratos embarked on a treacherous journey across the Aegean Sea, facing monstrous beasts and impossible odds. His first major trial came aboard a wrecked ship, where he faced the fearsome Hydra, a serpentine sea monster. In a brutal display of strength and cunning, Kratos tore through the Hydra's heads before impaling its massive heart. This victory was only the beginning of his trials. Kratos' journey took him to the gates of Athens, a city under siege by Ares himself. The streets burned as Ares' forces laid waste to the city. Here, Athena guided Kratos toward the Desert of Lost Souls, where Pandora's box was said to be hidden within the Temple of Pandora, a massive structure built atop the back of the Titan Kronos.
With the box, many things become possible, and so it is hidden well, far across the desert of lost souls. There is safe passage through the deadly sands, but only those who hear and follow the siren's song will discover it. You must find the sirens, Kratos. Only they can guide you to Kronos, the Titan.
A Titan lives?
Kronos is the last. Zeus has commanded him to wander the desert endlessly, the temple of Pandora chained to his back, until the swirling sands rip the very flesh from his bones. Stay true to the song of the siren, Kratos. Your journey begins here. Pray it leads you back to Athens with Pandora's box.
Reaching the temple was no small feat. Kratos had to brave the blistering sands, solve intricate puzzles, and battle countless enemies, including gorgons, minotaurs, and undead warriors. Along the way, he encountered harrowing reminders of his past, including visions of his family and his bloody rise to power. Inside the temple, Kratos faced 3 grueling trials, each testing his strength, intellect, and resolve. These trials were designed to break even the mightiest of warriors, but Kratos pressed on, driven by his insatiable desire for vengeance. At last, he claimed Pandora's box, an artifact glowing with divine power.
Kratos, your quest is at an end. You are the first mortal to ever reach Pandora's box. There is still time to save Athens. You must bring the box back to my city and use it to kill Ares. Return to Athens, Kratos. Return and save my city.
But as Kratos emerged from the temple, Ares, sensing the threat, struck with deadly precision. From miles away, the god hurled a massive pillar, impaling Kratos and killing him instantly. Pandora's box fell from his grasp, and Ares' forces claimed it.
So, little Spartan, you've recovered Zeus's precious box, but you will not live long enough to see it opened. I will see to that. Goodbye, Spartan. You will rot in the depths of Hades for all eternity.
As the life began to leave Kratos, his thoughts returned to that fateful night. In the end, in death, he had failed. As the minions of Ares claimed Pandora's box, Kratos' life faded, and his cursed soul was cast into the fires of Hades.
Yet death could not hold the Ghost of Sparta. Pulled into the underworld, Kratos fought his way back to the land of the living, battling the souls of the damned and climbing his way out of the abyss. When he returned, his rage burned brighter than ever. With Pandora's box now in Ares' possession, Kratos pursued the god of war to Athens. Using the artifact's power, Kratos grew in strength, becoming an equal to the gods. A climactic battle erupted between the two warriors.
Take this weapon, Kratos. Take this power, and use it to defeat your enemies.
After thousands of years, Pandora's box was finally opened. The power of the gods unleashed.
You are still just a mortal. Every bit as weak as the day you begged me to save your life.
I am not the same man you found that day. The monster you've created has returned to kill you.
You have no idea what a true monster is, Kratos. Your final lesson is at hand.
Their clash shaking the very earth.
It was I who saved you in your time of greatest need.
I haven't forgotten, Ares. I remember how you saved me.
That night, I was trying to make you a great warrior.
You succeeded.
In the end, Kratos' determination proved stronger. Armed with the power of Pandora's box, he unleashed a final devastating blow, impaling Ares with a massive blade and ending the god of war's reign of terror.
Kratos had done the impossible. A mortal defeating a god. Ares was no more.
Athena appeared before Kratos, congratulating him on his victory. But when Kratos begged the gods to rid him of his nightmares, Athena revealed the harsh truth.
Athena, rid me of the memories that haunt me still.
You have done well, Kratos. Though we mourn the death of our brother, the gods are indebted to you. We promised your sins would be forgiven, and so they are. But we never promised to take away your nightmares. No man, no god could ever forget the terrible deeds you have done.
Consumed by despair, Kratos returned to the cliff where his journey began. Believing there was no hope left, he leapt into the sea, seeking to end his suffering.
The gods of Olympus have abandoned me. Now there is no hope.
And Kratos cast himself from the highest mountain in all of Greece. After 10 years of suffering, 10 years of endless nightmares, it would finally come to an end. Death would be his escape from madness. The fate of Kratos was not as it seemed. The gods had other plans.
Athena saved Kratos from death, offering him a new purpose, the mantle of the god of war. With Ares dead, the throne of the god of war was vacant, and Kratos was the only mortal who had proven himself worthy. Reluctantly, Kratos accepted, ascending to Olympus as the new god of war.
Take these stairs, Kratos. They lead to your ultimate reward.
And from that point forward, throughout the rest of time, whenever men rode forth to battle for good cause or for evil, they did so under the watchful eye of the man who had defeated a god. They were driven forward by Kratos, the mortal who had become the new god of war.